Hi. Good morning. It's Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday on a holiday shortened week. It's 6:30 in the morning on Wall Street, about 3 hours before the open of trading. This is QuantBox Live, where you get your global macro on, and we uncover the best fundamental investment opportunities across global markets. You like stocks? Yeah, we do that. What about bonds and yields? Yeah, we can talk about that. What about Forex? Yep. What about gold and oil and Bitcoin? Yep, yep, yep. We cover all of that and more. Very cool. So, what's the point? Our AI driven data analytics, sentiment, inflation, employment, GDP, technical trends, open trade positioning, seasonality, uncover those best fundamental opportunities. And now there's a new upgrade being developed right now. People are working on it, clicking keys, right? And we will have a new upgrade available very, very, very soon, in which you can have artificial intelligence read all of this and give you updates. Hey, Jim, something important just changed. Huh? Innovation, baby, innovation. Anyways, the other big thing that QuantBox does is offer you confidence that you're actually putting together a rational investment decision. Really, that's ultimately what it is. Yes, it automates and it pulls in all this research and it does it in such a way it's easy to understand, but ultimately it helps you make decisions so that you let your winners run. You trade more like a professional institutional investor. Every single person now has access to the pro database. It used to be $79 for QuantBox Lite. It's now $79 for QuantBox Everything. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for helping me build such a wonderful service. I love it. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Now, did the sound just get better? I think this was using the wrong microphone for some reason. I don't know. These Microsoft updates seem to ruin everything. Anyways, let's log in. Cool. Oh, by the way, it's on my mind, and maybe I'll do it on the holidays while you're shoving turkey down your throat, watching football games. I might update this QuantBox training because there's about 8 upgrades that I added to QuantBox this year. 8 major upgrades. So I need to update this. So I'll probably add I don't know, maybe another hour of training. These are short training videos. They're probably what, 12 minutes each, something like that. But I need to update this. So look forward to that. And then pretty soon I'm going to put a upgrade here to the AI alert service. Again, not only will it alert you, it'll alert your phone. Hey, pound yen just went bearish. Really? Yeah. So I'll put a little upgrade. It'll be $365 a year to have AI automate and watch this 24 hours a day for you. Cool. Cool. Nice. Let's log into the pro, yo. I guess it's got to be this one. Okay. By the way, there is a party going on. I would love it if you came to our party. You have to go to investorbootcamp.com/party. It's in 22 days. We're going to have a party at an incredible hotel. I'm going to buy you a drink. I'm going to buy you a 4-course meal. You just have to comb your hair and put on church clothes. You're going to take a group photo. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have any of these. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. You can stay at this hotel, which is awesome, but it's very expensive. There are hotels right across the street for probably 70% less money. Sweet. Stay there, Uber over. You can't walk, it's impossible. This hotel is that big, it's literally impossible. Unless you want to walk like across a golf course in the middle of winter so you can save 10 bucks. No, just take the Uber and cool. This is actually the right door to enter, which is interesting because if you are a hotel guest, you're way to the right. So if you Uber, you actually go in this front door and then you got to walk to kind of the other side of the building straight across, but it's actually pretty easy to get to. Awesome. The place is amazing. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have a group photo, lots of selfies with the Wayne Meister. I hope you swing by. investorbootcamp.com/party. All right, let's get on with it. Let's go back to the QB. What did I do with it? Come on, QB. QB or not QB. All right. Yields are falling even more. I'm so happy. Every day makes me happy. Smile, smile, smile. Right? In fact, apparently the rally, because remember, when prices go up, yields fall. The rally in the bond market, or specifically the treasury market, has been so dramatic that we've wiped out all the losses this year. And you remember it crashed. It was devastatingly down. And I bought this at 5.0 and now that crash is gone. I might have picked it on the bottom. It's not my intent, but makes me happy every morning. Okay? Don't be afraid to be happy. When I first started trading, I always felt like I didn't make enough money when I made money. And then when I had losses, I shouldn't have had losses. And I realized I was never happy. So now I'm not ashamed of being happy. Oil, okay, 77. Hey, man, what was this, 72 a few days ago? So it's down a bit, but not much. Are you going to buy the dip is the big question. We can take a look at that. Gold is still farting around 2,000. I don't know if it really needs to go higher than 2,000. S&P 500, it's up. Yeah, another up day. Yeah, we talked about that. It had to do with OpenAI kind of pushing this one to the next level. Now, NVIDIA and Microsoft are at all-time highs. NVIDIA is up 250% this year. Gee whiz. Depends on which email, Jim. From was it late last week or I don't know. It seems like yeah. Oh no, I'll look at that. Thank you. I got the one about the oil. That oil page was a test page, and the developer was supposed to automate it, and he didn't actually automate it. So I'm like, dude, so what did you do? Just cut and paste a bunch of images, but yeah. No, but I could just put money toward that. I could, money. It's only time and money. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah. So let's go into our gauges. Still neutral. You like that one, huh? The sweet page. I'd have to really figure out where that is. Maybe I can find it. If you guys like it, I can just allocate money toward it, right? That's how easy it is. It's only time and money. Where would it be? Which cloud is it on? Which cloud? I think this is it. Yeah, this is the one you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. This is the entire oil industry. Okay. Look at here's production forecasts going out to next year. I mean, it's real data. It's real data. I don't think it's connected though. Here's OPEC production. Okay. So US production forecasts, OPEC production forecasts. Okay. And then this is I'm trying to use to emulate demand for energy so that everything else is supply. This is the supply or production going into supply. So production would be leaning on the supply side, but when it comes to energy, you have to have demand side economics as well. And so you do things like what will GDP be next year? Will it be, well, in this case, the world is supposed to have some economic growth. So that would be an increase of demand. Here's here's oil inventories, the 5-year averages, as well as current levels in storage. So again, this was accurate. I don't know, back in June. So obviously, it's not updating. So um, field production, U.S. imports, U.S. exports, feeder stocks. Okay, change in inventory up or down. So now you're like, oh, there's a big drawdown in oil inventories week over week. Yeah, really nice stuff. So I could build this in the QuantBox. Yeah, I just we're building AI right now. There's like we can do a lot, right? We could do a lot. Yeah, so if you guys are interested, in particular, like how about like for those that are watching like the YouTube recording, leave a comment in YouTube. You're like, damn boy, I need that oil page. Okay, can be done. All right, taking a look at short, medium, and long term, neutral. Even though the stock market's been going up, the problem is everything is at resistance levels. Everything is very expensive now. Everything's hitting targets. But on the long run, it is bullish. I mean, the stock market is up quite a bit. I mean, look at this. We've had a 7% rally in the last 30 days. That ain't bad. Okay. That's pretty good. Usually you don't have 7% months. If you made 7% a month, you'd be rich by now. Yeah. Can you imagine? It's basically 100% a year because it compounds, right? So I'm sure you're reinvesting. So that would compound up. So you're doubling your money every year. Uh huh. Can you imagine? It's impossible to imagine. There's an old story about a king. A king had a problem, so he summoned in his wise man, and the wise man said, "Oh, I'll solve the problem for you." And the king had a chessboard in front of him. He's like, what I want you to do in compensation is just one tiny grain of wheat on the first square, and then you double it as you cross the squares. That's all I ask for you, King. So, anyways, he goes out and solves the problem. And then King comes back. He's like, okay, one grain of wheat. And then the next square, 2 grains of wheat. And then the next square, 4 grains of wheat. By the time you get the end of the chessboard, it's all the grain in the kingdom. And the moral of the story, the wise man got his head chopped off. So, anyways, yeah, if you doubled your money and then doubled your money, then doubled your money, then doubled your money, yeah, pretty soon you're the richest person in the world. So, anyways, that's a good month, is all I'm saying. S&P 500 way up, Dow way up, yeah, but all these yens and FTSE way down. Well, FTSE is by far the biggest laggard. You know that, right? Let me show you. Let me go back just to make sure you know. Here are the global stock markets. Okay. The blue one down here is the FTSE. Okay. Clearly, by far, the worst stock market in the world. Clearly, laggard behind everybody else, huh? S&P 500 way up, Dow way up. Okay. DAX is up quite a bit. Japanese stock market was just ridiculous this year. FTSE is terrible. So we already know that. It's nice to see the correlation, though. Even the dog with fleas is up at a time when everything is up. Nice. There's obviously a relationship. We call that macroeconomics. To know one thing is to know everything. So if you were risk on all of these assets, you only had to make one decision: macroeconomics. Cool. Forgot to cover this, but I'm sure you're doing it anyways, but we'll see. So up here, this is the you can count it like inventory level, bullish positions and bearish positions. So dollar is still very bullish. Gold is very bullish. Oil's very bullish. The Japanese stock market's very bullish. So that's a static level, the number of contracts. Okay. The stock, it's actually called the stock. That's where equities come from. The stock of equities, right? Your supply. So this is right the number of contracts. So that's an inventory level. What QuantBox also measures is where's the money moving. So this is the long-term inventory of these assets. So traders are definitely long gold and they're definitely long oil. Now, when you look at what happened week over week, okay, investors went long the Japanese stock market. Money went into this. Money went into euro. Okay. Money went into euro. Money went into silver. Cool. So those assets are moving left. Okay. Money came out of platinum. Money came out of Swiss franc. Money came out of NASDAQ. Shut the back door. Well, it's been up since then. Profit taking, huh? So you think of it, these investors are probably disappointed that they took some profit and the NASDAQ still went up. But ultimately, it's irrelevant, right? If you caught that move in the stock market over the last 30 days, it cleaned up your entire year. You're like, it's like washing your hands for dinner. You're like, okay, it was a tough, nasty year. If you can get out it with a positive number, you're like, for sure. Okay. Money came out of the pound. Wow, huh? Look at that. So again, money came out of the pound. Here's pound moving right. Money coming out of Swiss franc, which is already weak. But you want that. You want yen to be weak. You want Swissy to be weak. And it hurt. It pains my heart. CAD is the worst. Really? What's wrong with Canada? You stupid people taking money out of Canada. The Canadian dollar's great. What are you talking about? Anyways, the market is heavily short Kenyatta. Hmm? So this is the flow of capital. This is the stock of capital. So you can have a bullish market with money coming out, profit taking, and you could have bearish markets with money going in, which is reversals. Okay. So that's how you use it. Now, this new AI that's being developed would watch all of this and say, hey, Jimbo, it's Aiden. It's not going to do it like that, but it could. And it'll say, hey, here's where all the money, money went into these assets this week and money came out of these assets this week. It'd watch the COT report for you and just give you an update. So you see it on your phone, you're like, oh, sweet. Just like that. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, totally. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Just take a longer term view. I know it's only Tuesday, but Mhm. Yeah, Bitcoin just tearing it up. So yeah, stock market up, stock market up, stock market up, stock market up. Okay, stock market up. What this is just showing you in your mind. You should look at all this like pound dollar up, euro dollar up. Okay, you should be thinking risk on. So you should know your asset classes. Okay, yields coming down. That's good. Risk on. So the biggest news right now in the market is not all of that stuff. That's all easily planned, um, easily tradable. The biggest thing is the yens have plausibly changed directions. So yesterday I said that virtually all the yen pairs look bearish, technically, and there was one that might be still bullish, and it would be Aussie yen, for example. And we will take a look at this in a second, but I think we were here yesterday, and the idea was you'd kick off what is now indicated as the average price. Okay. And you'd be going like that. Of course, that was supposed to be blue. There we go. Okay. That's like if the yen pairs go bullish again, that's how we would do it. But most of the yen pairs looked technically bearish. Now, the problem is it's been bullish for 2.5 years because of yield curve control. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I got you. Wonder if I can fix that myself. Uh, but yeah, so yeah, this shouldn't. Yeah, okay. Is it just this one or is it all of them? Isn't that funny? I just grabbed the one. So this is the one you emailed me about. Yeah, sweet. I don't know. Let me see if I could do it. I don't know. I have to go. Well, I guess I already got the database open, don't I? From the oil page. Let me go into the database and see if I can fix that. Log in into the database. Okay. It's loading for me. Okay. Loading. Open the menu. Go to yens. Go to Aussie. Neutral. Edit. Okay, I'm in there. I'm in. Neutral. Okay, what is going on here? Valuation. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. No, I'm not going to be able to do it. All right. The developers have to do it. So it's in a table somewhere. It's not, so I can't get in there. All right. Not all, but several. Okay. Well, we need to do an audit anyways. And while we're doing the AI upgrade, some other things are going to be upgraded. Like I don't like the calendar. So we have to figure out why the calendar is displaying things. Because when I go to organize a calendar, it'll tell me, it'll show me like what's coming up in 9 hours and then what's coming up in 9 days. And that's sorted by time. And I'm like, well, there's a difference between 9 hours and 9 days. They're nines. What do you want from me? QuantBox says. I'm like, yeah. So, anyways, yeah. So we'll go through. We'll go through. And I got some ideas for our fundamental analysis tools. So you might see some upgrades there too. Hey, you're welcome. So all right. So anyway, so it's bullish, but this one worries me. Okay. And then when you look at something more like CAD yen, and you know CAD's already weak, it looked much more bearish. Okay. And you can see technically, yeah, dude, a lot more bearish. So my concern is, and well, what we talked about yesterday is that if they should all go up or they should all go down, and we've been buyers of these assets for 2.5 years. It's been going up. So is it over now? And it just might be. Sounded like a Slim Shady song. All right. But then when we look at seasonality, oh, maybe it usually is over about this time. So I want to go and look at a dollar yen. So that's under yens, under dollars, I mean. And oh yeah, nice to know. So we farted around this 150 price for a long time after rallying for 2 years. And then all of a sudden we just dropped. We couldn't get through 150 anymore and it dropped. Now we're below 150. The question is, should you take profit if you had a lot of money on the long side? What does QuantBox tell you? Well, it's now technically bearish and it looks like seasonally this is going to turn south. Oh. Yeah, this is another example, hey Jim, where this should be bullish, but it's yeah. The question is, what I think is happening is the economics are going to stay relatively stable, but seasonality is going to go bearish. Trend is already bearish, and it's going to pull this down. And you can see that for quite some time, there's some profit taking coming up. And so maybe it's important. So why don't we now look at those two assets? and try to read our tea leaves. Go to the yens, and I showed Aussie yen yesterday, and I said, look, if all the yens are going to turn bullish again, then really the first line of defense is right there. Cuts like a knife, but feels so wrong. Okay. The next one was, well, this 21 EMA better hold. Right. So it's got to go up today, fellas, or we risk, this coming down significantly. So, like, let's go out here. Um, yen versus pound, for example. It needs to go up on this daily chart, right? It needs to go up. Needs to kick off that 21. Here's the USD yen we just looked at. Waited, double topped, and then dropped like a ton of bricks. Yep. So what I drew, and this was 12 hours ago or 24 hours ago, depending on when I did it. This was the short-term target, and I was indicating that ain't good if you're a bull, and you don't want to stare at it. You got to do something. And the next move, again, we're just talking about probabilities. The probabilities of something like that occurring in the near future is much higher than before. And then when you look at seasonality, and this is what QuantBox gives you, that most other traders don't have, is that it tends to roll over like this anyways. It's normal. Okay. It's like being angry at a wolverine for being grumpy. Well, it's not the wolverine's fault. It's just normal. So don't get mad at the wolverine. Could be a rabbit, could be. Sorry. Only child. Warning, warning. Yep. So anyways, it's normal for this to occur this time of year. And so if it's happening, then don't be mad. Okay. If you start to see it, the thing is, maybe you should protect some of your profit if you've been long since March. Okay. By the way, this is seasonally a long. Anyways, this is normal. So if this is normal, just like this is the up in March is normal. Okay. If that's normal, then is it plausible it can do something like that? I don't know. It depends on what the government wants to do with yield curve control in Japan. But yeah, it's possible. I don't know what it's going to do, of course. But if it was going to do something like that, well, then that's the exact right time. Now, now to refine this a little bit, if the world is going to improve next year, the United States has a soft landing, and therefore being largest economy in the world that's doing okay, we start buying BMWs again, we start buying Hondas again, we start buying Chinese TVs and cell phones again, and those other economies stabilize. Then really, are we going to head down there and lower? Well, that'd be a very risk off scenario. That'd be a bad scenario. If the yen got really, really, really strong for many, many, many months, that would probably indicate things are quite bad. So probably not, but we don't know. I think things can deteriorate if inflation kicks in, and I think inflation will kick in. So we go back to, is it possible the next year is much worse than it feels like right now? Yes. And now we have USD yen at a top. And now we're at a time of year where this is not unusual at all. In fact, it's average. Well, hell's bells. Yeah. Once the avalanche gets going, who knows, right? I think inflation is going to come back up. I think next year is going to be the story of the reappearing inflation. So, anyways, look, you need to make decisions. I'm not here to make decisions for you. I am pointing out that this is decision making time, technically and fundamentally. Again, I looked at Aussie as an example. If it's going to go up, it needs to kick up, right? Like, for example, is it still bullish if Aussie yen drops down here? No, it'd be a high probability of something like this. So we're in that zone, aren't we? Today is a big day. If all the yen pairs come down, you might be spending your Thanksgiving holiday trading the yen pairs to the downside because there'll be massive profit taking and massive levels of stops being hit while all the adults are on vacation. So nobody's going to be able to be in the office to buy the dip if they're big hedge fund managers. They're just getting stopped out, stopped out, stopped out. We might have an avalanche situation where the yen pairs drop very significantly while nobody's looking. So you come back to work on Monday and the yens have dropped 500 pips each, and you didn't make 5,000 pips. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, seriously. Oh, I've seen it. Oh, I've been through it, and specifically on Thanksgiving. Oh, yeah, I got battle scars, and these ones are ugly. Yeah, yens on Thanksgiving holidays. Oh, yes. No joke. Yeah, no joke. Usually it's a very benign thing and there's really nothing to care about. I have a feeling. Okay. No, my feelings don't get plugged into QuantBox. I don't have an API. Um, but I would certainly, through my experience, which doesn't make it reality, it just makes it my reality. We might be watching the yen pairs while everything else is a snooze fest. Yens might be rolling, stops being hit, avalanche. Okay. Cool. Well, that's our day. Stock market. What do you think Nvidia is going to disappoint? They have earnings today. I think it's today. It's an amazing a company that's grown 300% in a year. And what they're going to tell us today on earnings is that um, if they had a way to make their factories produce more, even though they're doing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If suddenly they had another factory just chow, just magically appeared and they made more chips, they would have sold those too. They are literally printing money as fast as they can print a board. Yeah, pretty amazing. Yeah, and speaking about a board, yeah, if you want some if you want a part-time job, you could probably sit on the board of OpenAI. I'm pretty sure they're going to have about 9 board seats open very, very soon. So you should start applying. And if you're like, but I don't have experience working on a board, you should join the CIA. I have a board meeting December 13th in Nashville. That's why we're having a party. Come hang out with us. Okay. Yeah, Nashville's right in the middle of the country. So if you live in the United States of America or even Canada or even Mexico, it's worthy of maybe you should make it. It's not far. It's a nice dinner. Huh? You could have a Wagyu bone-on ribeye steak. Oh my lord. That sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. So put it on your calendar. Anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Cheers.